All right. So super excited to have you all with us today. Um, I know that we got to talk a lot in the last few weeks at the live event and on calls that we have done together. So real quick, I'm going to have Leslie and Lynn introduce themselves, and then we will do a quick introduction of the team also, okay?
I'm Leslie Leondis, owner of Leondis CPA with Lynn. And we have several of our key team members. Actually, they're like the wind beneath our wings. They really hold us accountable. And it is great to be here with you.
Awesome.
I'm Lynn, as Leslie just stated. I am her business partner and totally agree with that statement on our team. They are the foundation and allow us to do what we do. Without them, we wouldn't be doing crap.
I love it. So Chelsea, Peyton, Danielle, and Megan, I would love for you guys to just give a quick intro and say what you do in the company.
Okay, well, I'm Megan, and I handle a lot of the technology, the marketing, and basically anything else Lynn and Leslie decide to throw my way.
I'm Danielle. I do a little bit of marketing with Megan, but more in like sales, a little bit of tax, a little bit of bookkeeping, a little bit of coaching, kind of a little bit of everything.
Love it.
I'm Chelsea. I do a lot of the bookkeeping and I do coaching, and I started doing taxes this year.
How fun. Awesome. So thank you again for joining us. I am very excited about it. I've gotten to know you all so well lately, and it's been a lot of fun. My first question is going to be for Leslie and Lynn. So you are a little bit different than our usual ideal client, as you also have a coaching offer, and that is where you really focus. So what made you interested in joining our coaching program?
You're muted, Leslie.
I was tired of trying to figure out the marketing ourselves. Even though we have a coaching program, it is not on marketing. That is not our specialty. And we had joined other marketing programs. And honestly, we were kicked out because we coached accountants and bookkeepers as well, even though it wasn't in marketing. And so we had came to your Hilton Head of a live event last year, and y'all, it was just a different community. So I hung around for probably about 4 months. And then I told Lynn, I think these are our people. So that's when we just decided to really embrace the community, and y'all have just been amazing to work with.
Thank you. Lynn, do you have anything to add to that?
I know she does.
It was just basically the community. We're all equals. There was no competition. Everybody was there to help everybody, which you don't get that in a lot of communities. It's usually cutthroat for the most part, as what we have found out in the past, and we have never felt that here. And we feel that y'all really wanted us to grow, even though y'all didn't know us at all. I mean, at that time. So it was a no-brainer, really.
Yeah, I remember meeting you guys in Hilton Head last year, and I was like, I'm not gonna leave them alone. And I didn't. We had a lot of conversations.
Oh, and you forgot to introduce Peyton, by the way.
Oh, she didn't do her introduction. Peyton.
It's okay, Lynn. I wasn't going to say anything, but yes.
Peyton with a P-E, not a P-A. We know this.
Yes, Peyton with an E. So I do a lot of the bookkeeping, and I just recently started, with sales and coaching as well. So that's about it.
Awesome. Thank you. Alyssa is tuning in from Facebook from the air. She is on a flight right now, coming home. She's been in Utah for a few days. So Leslie and Lynn, this one is for you again. What would you say is the most valuable thing you have gained from working with our team so far?
A lot of it is being able to get input from you and Allie and the rest of the team, because y'all have a different perspective than even myself and Alyssa, because as owners, you have taught them things that I've said over and over, but it just resonated when you said it, team member to team member. And a lot of coaching programs do not allow team members to come in. And so I feel like I'm on an island trying to shove it down to them. And they're like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
fact that
trying to follow that path of like, I asked these questions, I got the answers, but now taking it back to you and something could be lost in translation, or they have questions that you are like, oh shit, now I got to go back and ask that question for you. Yeah, absolutely.
and that's priceless, not having to worry about that. So exactly what Leslie said, I don't do much of the marketing, but seeing the shift in my whole team, because pretty much my whole team minus Megan had the same passion for marketing that I did, which was zero, hate it. But seeing that shift because of the way that y'all have been helping and explaining it to them, that's, like I said, it's priceless.
Right. I know that we had just previously touched on the fact that you guys were in another coaching program. What would you say distinguishes us from other programs that you have encountered?
Like I stated earlier, there's no competition, even though we deal with the same, niche,
Mhm.
like we did with the other one that Leslie has stated. There's no competition. Y'all still want to help us, because those that we can't help, we know that, y'all might be able to get through to, and vice versa. So just knowing that y'all are there for the support and not having to worry about, walking a fine line, because that just sucks, or
Yeah.
that y'all are holding back on teaching us something because y'all don't want us to learn it to benefit. Y'all don't want to take that benefit from y'all. We've never had that feeling where we've had that with others, and the other programs we've been in, they wouldn't include the team. And we are all about team. What we learn, we want them to learn, and being able to do that firsthand is so much easier.
Absolutely.
And then also letting, like Lynn and our business partners, and another one we were in, I was the only one allowed in it. We had to choose one of us, or we had to pay double the amount for the same seats because we were still on the same calls. So then the firm became misaligned because I was doing one thing, Lynn was doing another. And then we just started having conflict because of it, because Lynn didn't get it the full picture either.
Yeah, that I can imagine that had to make it kind of messy, trying to figure out where you guys could realign that. Absolutely. Seeing how the A team works together and how we have structured our team, has that had any influence on the way you've structured yours?
It's kind of been, y'all are doing the same thing that we've always done. Y'all are strong on culture, the same as we are, and building each other up. So it kind of helps us realize and see somebody else doing it. It helps us realize we're on the right path, right? Because we
Yeah.
can see, I guess, outside looking in, instead of we're hoping we're doing it right, but seeing it done with y'all's team too, it's like, okay, we're doing something right.
Heck yeah. Absolutely. Did you have anything to add to that, Leslie?
Well, and then seeing that Alyssa kind of hired the same way that I wanted to hire, because, when I brought Chelsea on and, and just with no accounting skills, and then just kind of nurturing her along was kind of the same thing Alyssa did too. So seeing that alignment was also helpful, because seeing how much she's improved your lives, it's like, yeah, I'm doing that too. So that was empowering for me to know, and it just helped that alignment.
I love that. You did both touch on this previously, but why do you feel it's important to give your team access to resources and trainings?
Because we want them to know just as much as we know, if not more, right? Like I said, they are our foundation. Without them, we couldn't do what we do. So to us, them not having the same knowledge that we have, having access to that leaves a big gap that will eventually can crush that foundation, because we have to let them grow, right?
Absolutely.
In order for us to grow, they
And
have to.
And I've always, if somebody took, helped me when I was first starting in accounting, move on into, where I'm at now. And so that's kind of what the team I wanted to do, was give them a chance to find out where they want to go. So even if they want to leave, and they can take all of that knowledge with them, but I knew I was a big part of their life as well, because I just want them to grow and be the best person that they can actually be.
Absolutely.
For us to be our best, they have to be their best, so.
Absolutely. And it not only helps them, but it also helps you guys with the time that you're putting in. It's not adding more things to your calendar, more things that you have to get done, more calls you have to attend to learn something, because your team has the direct access. And it, like we said, takes out that channel of them asking you questions and then you asking us questions and going back. They just get to do that directly. So I think that really gets rid of the time constraints for you on adding anything. And it allows your team to be an even bigger part of the vision of your company when they know like their actual responsibilities and what they're trying to do with their job. And I think that your team is doing a great job with that. I love getting to work with them.
Oh yeah, they come back fully fired up and excited after every meeting. It's like, great, y'all keep it up.
Yeah, I see it. I see it happening on the calls. Their faces light up and they're like, oh, this is making sense. I get this.
Yeah,
We've
the
had
light
lots
bulbs
of
go off.
those. Yeah. Megan kept saying, oh, my light bulb's going off. My light bulb is going off right now. And I was like, yes, girl, we love that. So I'm going to ask you lovely ladies a few questions too. So feel free to unmute and ask them. All of you are able to answer any of them that you feel comfortable answering. Okay. So how has working with us helped you grow personally and professionally?
So I think for me, it's just been the clarity. So like they were saying, like I've been doing marketing with Leslie and Lynn for a while now, but after going to the event and working with you on these calls, it just gave it so much more clarity of actually what we're marketing, what we're doing, and how it all like pulls together.
Yeah, for me too. And like I always knew that I could do it because like Megan said, we had already been doing it. So I knew I could do it, right? That wasn't the issue. The issue was like knowing I can do it and getting results from it. That was my thing. I'm like, okay, so as a team member, I can get results from it too. Like I'm not just like doing it and nothing's coming out of it. Like we can get results from it too. So for me, like seeing like as a team member getting results, being able to sell and like stuff like that, that for me was like a big game changer.
Awesome.
I'm just trying to wait and see if Peyton was going to talk. I didn't want to interrupt her.
No worries.
Mine is just being able to be a part of something and actually be appreciated for what I do has really been a game changer for me with like previous jobs and stuff. So just being able to be a part of something and have my opinion heard and be able to do more than just one thing in the business it's been a lot.
Awesome.
I'm just going to agree with everybody. They all pretty much took the words out of my mouth for sure. Being a part of a community that really cares and is there to help you is definitely huge.
I love
It's
it.
helped with confidence too.
So you mentioned confidence. Danielle mentioned really leaning into results. Have any of you applied this into your life personally? Like, has that confidence carried over into your life personally? Has anything changed for you with that?
I mean, yeah, I feel like it's inevitable, right? Like you can't really stop it. As much as people say like you have to leave business at the door, it's not really something you can do. So I think as you grow, like we do a lot of like mindset work and like self-development. We read a lot of stuff like that. So like as we do stuff like that through work, yeah, it's gonna affect me personally. I probably couldn't give you an example, but I know it has, like, right, like you can notice that. I personally can notice a difference in like my mindset versus where I was like a year ago. So yes, to answer the question.
Feeding into what Danielle said, I was going to talk about how it's really changed my mindset, even just, and I know everyone on the team noticed this, after coming back from the Moneymaker Live event, I had it like, my mindset was just so much better. I was so much more positive and I guess happy, you can say, just from going to that event and starting to work more in the community.
Oh, that makes my heart so happy.
I agree. Y'all's conference thing was so much better than anything I've ever been to. So much more uplifting. And it's just not, you're coming back, like just dreaded going back to work. I was actually excited to come back to work.
Yeah,
Oh,
right. Like we were excited to come back and implement the things that we learned.
Yeah.
Or just like thinking outside the box too, right? Because you get so into like a rut or whatever, you get so used to doing the same things that you don't think of like outside the box. Like Leslie telling us all these things, which we know all of it, right? But it took for you to tell us and like to be around other people in the community, it helped a lot with that.
yeah, and I think it coming from team member, so team member to team member kind of helps you reframe it.
For sure.
And I think getting to see the way we run in our team is kind of like opening to other people like, oh, wait, this is the stuff we can be doing, right?
Mhm.
I know that you had just mentioned that you do a lot of personal development. I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but I'm a little putting you on the spot. What is, and all of you feel free to answer this, what is the best book you've read so far that you would recommend to a team member?
You're a badass.
Yeah, I love that one.
Yeah.
I would have to agree.
Or
Me too.
Hold on. I have my book right here. What is it? Oh, there goes all my books.
I was about to say, I have all my books back there, but Lynn also took some of mine, so I don't have all of them.
I also really like the Money and Law of Attraction. That one was really good, but you have to take that one in bite-sized pieces because it's very like deep, right? But that one was
Mhm.
very good. You have to be super open-minded to read that book, I think.
Yeah.
But that one was really good too.
You should check out, I know you just mentioned You Are a Badass. There is one called Badass Habits by Jen Sincero that I really enjoyed also. It helped me kind of like restructure, not even my work day, but my whole day in general. Just so I like had a better flow of how my days were going instead of kind of feeling like it was chaos.
Any added?
Next on the list, they're doing the You Are a Badass at Making Money right now, or whatever
Oh,
it's
yeah.
called. The
Mhm.
Habits one's next.
I love it. Yeah, it's a good one. Those are all good ones. All right. So I know we also just touched on this a little bit, but this is twofold. It's going to be Leslie and Lynn answering about you guys, and then you guys answering about yourselves. So Leslie and Lynn, in what ways have you seen your team members step up as leaders?
I'll go first. I just had a hysterectomy 2 weeks ago. And since that time, I haven't done any sales calls, not much work. And we have actually booked and done more sales calls in the 2 weeks I've been out than we have in the last month.
Okay.
Just because of their stepping up and just being there. I mean, it has been I've actually felt like I have time to recover.
I love that.
Just being able to sit back and, because I oversee them.
Mhm.
I don't have to really do anything because I can sit back and look and watch their click up, and they're constantly just stepping out there. Hey, I can help you do this, or Leslie, don't worry about it. I'm going to, take care of this. They're constantly helping each other to where they don't need any oversight really. I'm just a glorified paid. I don't know what I am half the time because they take care of themselves. You know what I mean? They got this. They know what they're doing.
Awesome. So now, ladies, how have you felt that you have really stepped into leadership in the last few weeks?
I feel like just doing the things, like you just got to do it, right? I don't know how to answer that.
Well, you answered it a little bit when you said that you started doing things to get a result instead of just doing it to get the task done. So that's absolutely moving into leadership. You see the result that you're after and you're kind of like, okay, what do I have to do now to get that result? So that right
I
there.
think a lot of it is like stepping out of your comfort zone too. Like I was not before the Moneymaker conference, I did not want to do like sales or even like I didn't even like sitting in on the sales calls just for like training purposes. But this week and even last week, it's been a lot easier to talk to people and just have those conversations. So I think it's helped a lot for my confidence just having to step out of that comfort zone.
Yeah, I was gonna say I just have to do things like, for me personally, I can't overthink it. So like if Leslie asks me to do something that for me is not something I'm typically comfortable with doing, I just say yes because I'm like, if I overthink it, I'm gonna like psych myself out of it. So I'm just like, you just have to do it. That's how it works for me. Like I just have to do the thing and figure it out as I go. And I haven't always been like that, trust me.
It's a new way of thinking instead of waiting for the actual direction and saying like, okay, you want this done, how do you want it done? No,
Yeah.
you do it. If they need something changed, you change it, but you take that, you make it your baby, you get it done, right?
Yeah, but I
Um,
also think like
someone
having the
else done.
permissions to do that is really important because if Lynn and Leslie weren't so open with us and so like, okay, I give you guys permission to do whatever, make mistakes, we'll figure it out. That I think is like really key to actually like wanting to put the initiative in to do it. Because if we didn't have the permission, then I wouldn't even try.
Absolutely. And that really speaks to the culture they've created within your team.
Mhm.
And I don't even think so much that it's permission because you don't have to ask them before you do everything, but they instill confidence in you to make those decisions for yourself. They put that trust in you. And again, that comes back to the culture.
For sure.
I'm waiting for one of you to mention one specific thing that you said to me at the event. Danielle, you're the one who walked up and said it to me. I don't know whose idea it was though.
Well, I'm curious now.
Me too,
I am
because
too.
I
I
don't
was about
remember.
to say I've slept since then.
All right.
What did
I'll
I
get you-
say?
I'll get you started and I'll see if it triggers your mind. But you said, Lynn has really been able to start stepping back and working shorter weeks.
Oh, what did I say? I don't know what she does anymore.
I know, I know what she said.
What did I say?
You said, we have made it our mission.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Lynn, yes. To get Leslie working as little as Lynn does. That is our mission.
Yes.
That is our mission. I remember now. Okay.
Yes. I was like, I'm waiting for them to say that because that is a huge step in leadership to say, okay, what can I do to help you get all of this off your plate so you can have the free time that you're looking for? And to even recognize that you are in a position to do that. That truly speaks to you being a leader on the team.
I think that we had kind of like working towards it too, and it kind of helps with her being out. I mean, not that we wanted her out, but like not having the crutch of her being there has like forced us to do it in a way, and now we feel more confident. Me personally, I feel more confident in like booking the sales calls with me and not even like thinking to book with her unless like it's something that needs to be with her.
In all honesty, they tell me what I need to do more than I tell them what they need to do.
Same. They just told me today that they're going to make me go to the process call. So I will write a process.
There you go. See, they're bossing you around now.
Yeah, that was Danielle.
I can
She
see
told
it.
me and Megan both.
I
Yeah.
can see that one happening. All right. So I know that we've been working together for a few weeks. With these changes that you have been making, how have we played a role in that with our mentorship company?
So I can say, because Alexis, I told you this on the first call we did with you, how I hate sales calls. It's not that I can't do them, I just don't like them.
Mhm.
And I did my first one in a long time I've done on Friday, and it was perfectly fine. Like I had the confidence and it went good.
I'm
So
so
that
happy
was
to
big
hear
for
that.
me.
I love that for you.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me too was like what I said earlier about like no, like I always knew I could do the sales calls. It wasn't about the call, it was about like getting results, right? So it was like the confidence and like knowing as a team member that I can get results from the selling, not just like I wasn't wasting my time trying to pitch these things to people and they were like, oh, she's just a team member, like it was like that mindset of it. So that for me was like the biggest like shifting and the biggest like key point takeaway from it.
Awesome.
And she actually closed, I was on a sales call with her, which I could sit there. Person she's actually having a sales call with told me, you can just go away. I wish I could, but Danielle told me I had to be here. But she ran the whole thing, closed actually 2 deals on one call.
Way to go. That's so exciting. Good job, Danielle. That is amazing. Leslie and Lynn, what would you say to someone who is unsure of putting their team member in a position of leadership? I know we talked to quite a few people who are kind of like, what if I give them everything and then they leave? So they kind of are hindered by that. What would you say to someone who's in that kind of rut right now?
You never know what they can do unless you give them the access and permission to do it, right? So if they take it further on down the line, I mean, just like any of our team members, if they take everything we've taught them and go start their own business or whatever, I'm just proud that I was able to help them do that, right? I mean, they gave their all to me while they were working for me. So if they feel that they can go start their own business, I'm happy for them because I know I had a part of making that happen for them.
Awesome.
And coming from, my daughter worked for us, and she was a big part of our business. And then I knew she was leaving to go to nursing school. And yes, she left a gap, but it also identified a lot of things that we needed to solve for that gap, because I never want somebody to stay that doesn't want to stay. And so as long as I invest in these ladies and keep just pushing into them and pushing them out of their comfort zone, I'm hoping they do stay. But I also know that they may want to go do something else. And I am completely fine with that, because of the fact, like Lynn said, they give us their all every single day. And if they want to go and change careers or do whatever they want to do, I want them to do that. And I want to have a part of that.
Awesome. I think just from working with them and the way I've heard them talk about you, I think that they are all very happy with what they are doing and have zero plans on moving on or starting their own. But that also speaks to the way that you empower them and you put that confidence in them and allow them to lead your company the way that they do. And I know that we have touched on this a few times also, but you all attended Moneymaker Live together. I'm going to ask the team first. What was your biggest takeaway from that event?
I'm going to have to go back to the mindset. Just like the energy and the mindset around it all, to me was just, it was unmatched. Like, it was amazing. That has to be my biggest takeaway.
I agree. The mindset and just building more confidence was the biggest thing. Like, I was the same as Peyton, hated sitting on sales calls and doing stuff like that, but I had coached a few calls by myself with some of our clients with just me, and I had more confidence than I ever even knew I had whenever I was on it. So it was huge.
Yeah, so it not only helped Chelsea with like marketing and sales, but it also helped her with her like coaching clients. It gave her more confidence in them too.
And I know that you are all planning on being in Nashville. So what would you say to someone that is on our call right now, who is a CEO and is unsure of bringing their team members?
Do
Just
it.
do it.
Without a doubt, do it.
Yeah, you won't regret it.
It's well worth the investment.
And even though it is costly to bring your team, the team bonding that happens during that event and everybody gets on the same page is so, you can't describe it. Because the first year I took them to Chelsea and Megan to QuickBooks Connect, and just seeing their light bulbs go off, and then they're like, I get it now. I get what we're doing. And so taking them to see where the company's going, and you don't have to do things, we're in the accounting industry. It doesn't have to be boring. So why not take them and let them see another side? Because to me, honestly, a lot of the turnover going on in the accounting industry is because we're trying to build the traditional model. And y'all are not about that traditional model, which is what, is why we're so aligned, I think, as well.
Well,
Yeah.
also, they hear it from other people, like we've said a lot during this call already. Hearing it from somebody else, it makes that light bulb go off. And I know there was other people at Hilton Head that had brought their team members, and their team members were like, oh, that's what you were telling me. And she was just over there just,
You have said that to me a million times now. I know that Leslie and Lynn, you, Alyssa, both the two of you, Alyssa and I had a quick conversation right outside the event doors. I think it was on the last day. And we talked about the importance of including your team, taking them to events, giving them these resources. And it's because it keeps them on the same track as you. It allows them to grow with you. They see the vision, they see what you're doing. So I love how much you put into your team. I love that your team shows up and works with us. I love that they are all coming to Nashville. So I've heard.
They are.
Individually, and this doesn't have to be professionally, it could be personally. And I know it kind of sounds like a similar question to when I asked earlier, but what would you say individually has been your biggest breakthrough in the last 3 weeks?
You asking us for the team?
All of you.
I would say back to my confidence. That's my biggest breakthrough, being on the coaching calls and doing it by myself.
Them taking
For
the
sure,
shot
the
off.
confidence. I agree with the confidence and just being like pumped up, you know, just ever since the conference.
Somebody said something at the conference, and I don't remember which speaker it was, but they said something like, in order to have the life you want, you have to live the life you want, right? So like for me, it's been more of like just doing what I want, like pretending like I have it all together and doing the thing. And it's been working out, like even personally, right? Like getting up earlier in the mornings and just doing a quick workout before work, like that's something I've always wanted to do. So personally, I'm like, if I want it, just do it. Like, what do you just do it? So for me, it's been like that, just that saying alone amongst other ones that we talked about, right? It's just like the confidence boost, the empowering, like you can do this, like everybody is like rallying around each other. And for me, it's a lot about like the community and being there for each other and lifting everybody up. It just put me like in a better headspace, I guess, too. So confidence, mindset, all of it. Yeah. The speakers were really good too. Like they knew how to speak to people.
Yeah, we do a pretty good job with our picks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Seeing the way that Allie and I as team members interacted with our clients at the event and just from the coaching calls you have been on, has it changed anything about the way you interact with your clients?
I don't think so. Not for me, really. Maybe not my clients, but definitely my leads.
Okay.
Yeah.
What has changed with the way you interact with your leads? I'm just curious.
Like before it was more like not awkward, but a little bit awkward because I didn't know them. And
Mhm.
now I just pretend like I know them and they're my friend. So
Yeah, you're just
it was just like the mindset shift, right? Of like, don't think of it as like you're trying to sell something. Just think of it as like you're helping them because that's really what you're trying to do, right? You're trying to help. So it was like the shift in mindset for me of like selling versus just like chatting, right?
just trying to help them see what result they're after and how you can help them do that. Just like a friendly chat. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I will say this for, I'm just going to pretty much call Peyton out here, but seeing, because we did have some clients there at the event as well, and
Mhm.
seeing Peyton, of all of them who she gained her confidence, and I can safely say she got her wings at Moneymaker Live, because seeing her interact with one of our clients where we were just sitting on the couch and just chatting and just seeing her just blossom was just amazing. That was worth the event to me, and just weight of gold, because I just literally saw her just fly.
It's almost like they just woke up and said, oh, these are real people, right?
Yeah.
They're not just pictures on the screen or whatever, they're actually real people. So I can talk to them like a real person.
Yeah.
It's funny when you get in the room with them and you're like, oh, you are a real person. And you're like, already feel this deep connection to them, but you're also like, hi, I'm real too, right?
Yeah, and like we had always seen you and Alyssa and Allie like in recordings and stuff, but it was never like I know who these people are, but I've never really interacted with them. So that was kind of cool too, to see like meet you guys and your personalities and everything like that. I think that was cool too, to see like, okay, they're like this, we're the same. It's the same. We're like they could be our friends down the road and it would be like the same thing.
Yeah, we are friends.
Yeah, right. So it was, yeah, I think that too.
Yeah, just seeing how y'all built the community and the way y'all built it, we want to continue to grow ours, kind of follow that same path.
Absolutely. Sorry, I have like a tickle in my throat. What do you believe have been the key factors in your team's success lately?
Their confidence.
So it's all
Going to Moneymaker Live, and it all comes down to confidence, because we knew they could do it. They just didn't know they could do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And talking to the people in that room, because of the way y'all do the room, and they were just talking to people and they were like, I can do this. And you could literally see them shift. Like I said, Peyton was just talking to everybody, and she's like usually the one that's like really quiet, but she just went on. Chelsea's the same way. They just talked.
So what you're saying is if someone has a team or a single team member or a whole team that is sharing the vision of their business, and you're really ready to get them into their leadership role, that they should come to Moneymaker Live.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm taking away. Everything
Yep.
changed because of the confidence from the energy from the event, and that everyone just needs to get their team members there.
Yep.
All right, you are hearing it here live, loud and clear, that if you are ready to step into your leadership role and be the CEO of your business and have your team step into their leadership roles, that you need to get into a conversation. Come chat with me. I would love to see what you have going on, how we can help you, how we can get you in the room at Nashville and answer any questions you have about your team members. Allie, do you have that link for me? Could we drop a link real quick? As usual, not prepared to do that, but it felt right. Everything that you guys are saying. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm just going to see if anyone in the chat has any questions, and I'm going to check Facebook real quick to see if anyone dropped any questions there for you all. Okay. Anyone who is on with us live, do you have questions for Leslie Lynn, Chelsea, Peyton, Megan, or Danielle? Allergy season. I don't see any questions on here, but I see lots of comments from Melissa.
Of course.
She said, you all look beautiful. Anyone in here have any questions? It doesn't look like it. So I am going to, I guess we're going to hop off early. Ladies, I think we have another call coming up. If not, let's get one on my calendar so we can touch base on those sales calls that have been going really well. Wendy says, you guys were so welcoming and nice and answered all the questions that she had. So thank you for tuning in with us. I look forward to chatting with you all soon.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for having us.
Yes,
Absolutely.
thank you.
Thank you.
Hey.